Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
2022 WWE Elimination Chamber results, recap, grades. Brock Lesnar wins WWE title in chaotic main event. In his storied career, there was still one thing Brock Lesnar had never done: wrestle in the Elimination Chamber. Lesnar addressed that on Saturday in Saudi Arabia, and left the match as the new WWE Champion. Lesnar shared the chamber with AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Riddle, Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, who entered the match as champion after having defeated Lesnar at the Royal Rumble in January. Lashley would never actually enter the match, being taken out due to concussion protocols after Rollins powerbombed Theory into Lashley's cell wall, sending him crashing into the metal framing. With Lashley out of the way, there was no one who stood a chance at stopping Lesnar once he escaped from the confines of his pod, and Lesnar made quick work of all other men in the match to become a world champion for the 10th time in his career. Lesnar's match with Roman Reigns will now be a title versus title match after Reigns retained his Universal Championship by defeating Goldberg earlier in the show. WWE Elimination Chamber was presented live Saturday afternoon from Jeddah Super Dome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. CBS Sports was with you the whole way through the event, providing updates and highlights as the action goes down in the live blog below. 2022 WWE Royal Rumble results, grades. The Miz vs Rey Mysterio. Mysterio got off to a hot start before Miz tried to take a powder outside the ring. Dominik Mysterio grabbed The Miz after a bit of stalling and rolled him back into the ring. After Miz took over the match, he took a swing at Dominik outside the ring, leading Dominik to deliver a shot to Miz's face and fall into a roll-up by Rey for a near fall. Momentum swings and reversals continued down the stretch until Mysterio hit a 619, forcing Miz to roll out of the ring again, this time grabbing a chair. As the referee was distracted, Dominik grabbed the chair from Miz, who acted as though Dominik had hit him with the chair. After the referee kicked Dominik out from ringside, Miz tried to hit Rey with a skull-crushing finale only for Rey to roll him up for the pin. After the match, the Mysterios further beat down the Miz. Standard kickoff match stuff here, priming the fans with some good old-fashioned face-over-heel action. Rey Mysterio def. The Miz via pinfall. Grade, C+. Universal Championship, Roman Reigns, C, versus Goldberg. Despite Goldberg showing off a bit of power early, Reigns took him to the outside and bounced him off the announce table several times. Goldberg quickly turned things around by throwing Reigns into the ringside barricade. Back in the ring, Reigns looked to turn the table, but Goldberg hit a spear. Looking for the jackhammer to finish it, Goldberg was hit by a counter urinage for a 2 count. Reigns hit a Superman punch and set up for a spear only to run into another spear from Goldberg. The challenger failed again to hit the follow-up jackhammer, instead getting locked in a guillotine choke. Goldberg tried to slam his way out of the hold but was eventually choked out, forcing the referee to stop the match. As short as expected given Goldberg's limitations in the ring. There was nothing good in the match, but it avoided any sort of disaster, which was certainly a possibility coming into the match. Roman Reigns, C, def. Goldberg to retain the title. Grade, C+. Elimination Chamber, Bianca Belair vs Liv Morgan vs Doudrop vs Rhea Ripley vs Nikki A.S.H vs Alexa Bliss. Nikki and Morgan were the first 2 women in the match. After a fairly routine open to the match, with both women being thrown into the fence and pods around the ring, Doudrop entered the bout and immediately took the fight to Nikki, smashing her into the chain link before turning her attention to Morgan. Ripley was the next woman released from her pod and began stalking Nikki. In the first big moment of the match, Nikki began to climb the chamber in an attempt to escape but was caught by Ripley, who sent her flying onto Doudrop and Morgan. Seconds later, Ripley eliminated Nikki after hitting Riptide. Bliss, whose pod contained a swing, entered the match next, with Belair having secured her spot as the final woman to enter the match on this past Monday's Raw. Morgan eliminated Doudrop after hitting a sunset flip bomb from the turnbuckles, leaving it a four-woman match as Belair entered the match. Belair immediately went to work with showy offense on Bliss and Morgan before coming face-to-face with Ripley. The two made the decision to align briefly and hit tandem delayed vertical suplexes. The alliance broke quickly when Ripley slapped Belair and the two began to brawl. In the ensuing chaos, Bliss managed to take out Morgan, hitting her with Twisted Bliss for the elimination. Moments later, Belair hit Ripley with the KOD for another elimination. That left it to Bliss and Belair to battle it out for a shot at the Raw Women's